Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Last Natufian, reading the pillars at Göbekli Tepe. This is episode 6, where we're going to read Enclosure D, the center pillars 18 and 31. I want to thank everyone for their support who have contacted me and my family, and for your patience as I create these videos. I have nobody else's work or theories to use as examples, as there are none. This is my discovery 100% from November 2021. Made a mistake on the first video on that one. And there's a lot to unpack. I'm sorry I don't have better skills at this. I just don't. But this is a great discovery. Let's just stick to the facts, all right? During the first 5 episodes and the previous series on Pillar 43, the Vulture Stone, I explained that the pillars are cartoon maps of the cradle of civilization, right? We looked at and went through the pillars of the enclosures A, B, and C and started on D. And that's what we're looking at right now. We're looking at pillars D18, D13, and D43. So what we learned and what I showed you is that they're cartoon maps for all the different mountain structures, okay? All the different mountain structures, as you can see here. The red circle is pillar 43, that's what I started on, and here's the Tigris. And so that's what's happening on all the pillars. The pillars themselves, you know, the animals on there, they don't repeat themselves. So what we found is the Sphinx and the Nile and Fayum on a pillar, right? Here is the Dead Sea and the mountains off the Dead Sea, and there's the Headless Man, there's the Jordan River with the snake, there's the Vulture, Mount Hermon, the Baca Valley, here's the mountains, here's the big waves, the giant waves. I didn't put the little animals in here, but here would be that we're gonna find out is the people of Libya, Egypt, and Israel. Here, the mountains of Cyprus. Here's the bird, here the fox. We found that out, the fox is right here beneath the boar and above the bird here. The bird is used twice. You've got these pillars, well I call them, what do you call them, dumbbells, right, that are on the pillar are here. Here is the bull we learned, right? And up in Turkey with the ducks are up in here. We're going to find out more about the rest of this. As a matter of fact, here, let's do a quick. Okay, so what we looked at, we found that A1 is Haran with the sheep, beautiful. A2, we see the bull, the fox, the bird, that's the Euphrates. We figured out those are the mountains, of course. We've got a salamander here on B6, we don't know, but it follows the rules. Terrain on the side, and the rivers are on the edges. Here we have the 2 foxes, right, facing in 2 different directions. They're also on this portal stone. One facing right, one facing left with the bull down. That square part there is Sirach, and you'll see that on the previous videos. Here on C12, we see the boar with the ducks up for Turkey, you know, looking at Turkey. As a matter of fact, we can take a quick look at that. I like looking at that. Here we go. So here's the Euphrates. Here's the one of the birds. Here's where the pillars are, right here. And if you turn this, see the dark area right here. Right here, let me make that a little bigger. So ears up in here. Here's the long face. Here's the tusks. Here are the front legs. Here are the back legs here in front of the bird down here. But this is a boar. You see it? That's a pig. So that's the boar, and then above it would be the ducks. Here are the legs. I said in the previous videos, I haven't quite figured it out, but look at the shape of it, just like the top of a pillar as well. And there you go. There's the boar and there's the ducks, and that's Turkey. C26 I haven't figured out yet, but C27 I have. There's the Sphinx, there's the Nile, and there's ancient Fayum, right there. That's easy to see as well. Never get tired of looking at this one. Here you go. The Sphinx, let's straighten it out. Look at almost north and south right there. But the Sphinx is that heart right here. The Sphinx is sitting here right on the Nile. And look at that, the shape of a pig looking that way is the ancient Natufian site or Neolithic site here in Fayum, this oasis here. And of course it looks just like the pillar right here. Sphinx, Nile, pig. Here on the next one we see Karakodag at the bottom. That's one of those dumbbells, but it's Karakodag, and we found the stream that goes to the steer, to the bull. Oh my God! See, my mistakes and all are on here. So we found out that's from Karakadog to the bull, from the bull, and that there's another river that meets right here that goes all the way down to the Tigris. And that led us to Enclosure D. So back to where we were here. So here are all the animals again. And this is the first time in 10,000 years that anybody's seen this, but this is what is going on. It's the size of right here. It's this big. It's huge. Matter of fact, to compare it to Europe, it's the size of Germany, Austria, most of Italy, France, and England combined into one. And the cradle of civilization, or I should say the Fertile Crescent, is through here. But as you can see, it's not all of it. It's only this piece here. The maps that are on these pillars, though, connect all 5 bodies of water that are around them. It's more like half of or most of the Persian Empire. Look at that. From Egypt, all the 5 waterways, and here's where Göbekli Tepe is, right here in the middle of it all, right? As you can see it right here, Göbekli Tepe, right in the middle of all of the trade and communications and control in the highlands. So back to the pillars. So what in the enclosures, in Enclosure D, which this is part of, the 2 middle 18 and 31 are not maps, but they are referencing the maps as I just showed. And definitely when you look at these here, this is used twice, okay? And one is around Sirach. So now let's talk about 18 and 31. As you can see, one is rougher. This is much more clear. It's more ornate, more defined. Well, let's get into... Okay. So here we have the 2 pillars. On D18, as we've shown before, you've got several things going on. The comet itself, it looks like a comet, this elbow, and you've got this belt that's ornate, right? And here's a closer view of the different dumbbells and how they're being used. But as far as a comet, well, that's easy. That's how you explain it to somebody. It looks like a comet, your elbow, all right? So that's what they're saying. Now, as far as the fox, what they're saying is that one of the fragments landed or hit at the tail of the fox. And we know that with Tel Abu Huraira, that right here on the Euphrates, here is the fox. The front legs of the fox hit the Euphrates, so they actually use it like that, but it's backward. The face of the fox goes this way, and the tail is back here. The shotgun blast of the comet fragment came through here, and that's what they're talking about, right through here. So this black part, see that pillar, or I guess a dumbbell, here's one here, here's one here. That's how it's used, but it's used in this direction here, okay, because it's oriented the other way if you turn it. But anyway, the comet came through here, the fragment hit here, blasted through here. Here is the tail of the comet. So they're just telling that story, right, on top of everything else. So there were 2 of them. Now, there are a couple other details. Again, I'm just going through facts. You can see that the dumbbells are being used and how many times they're being used on the pillars. I think each one of these represents how many times it's being used on the pillars and the lands that they're talking about around it. Here's another detail. There are 2 comet or shapes like this around this dumbbell and only 1 here. There's a better view of it coming up. Okay, so on these 2 pillars in the middle, here's another view. So if you're looking at it from this way, if you're standing right here and looking back towards the vulture stone, this is what it looks like. So there's nothing back on the vulture stone. You can see that the 2 arms are the same just about. This one's bigger, more rounded, but you notice the belt, it's pulled up higher on this one. I'm going to show some other differences between the 2 of these. So here we go. This one's much more ornate. You've got on the belt the hieroglyphs or on the belt, the markings on the belt. There's nothing here, but this is pulled up higher. It's also a bigger pillar, kind of like a man and a woman, okay? See the necklace right on here? They've also got something on their neck. So look at this comet here. It's very undefined, very large, very ugly. This one's very defined. It's landing somewhere. So this is the big fragment that missed that they saw in the sky. This is the one that hit. You've got man and woman, Adam, Eve, however you want to say it. But let's take a look at the necklaces. Okay, on this necklace, you see, or you see that the bull, right? From over here would be mountains, you'll see, as with the other pillars. So they're talking about the area of the mountains and of the Euphrates River in here, as they've used before. So that's for D31, for the taller of the two. Now, on the D18, the more ornate, you see something going on here. Now, I love this one. Watch this detail. Like a man and a woman, see the one on the right is bigger. Right? However, it might be bigger on land, like the two pillars, one's bigger than other, but when it comes to status, they are the same. You see it, their heads are the same. So they're coming together. It's man and woman. It's actually pillars 31 and 18 coming together. Now, here you have, they say it's sun and moon, but it's not. These are the horns of the bull, right, and the Euphrates, and there's a circle here. So you've got on the taller one, you've got here are the horns, right, going this way, or the Euphrates, there it is there. And so it's joining. And here you've got a circle. Well, there is a circle on one of the other pillars. Absolutely. So first you've got the bull up here, right? And that's what they're talking about, the bull, which is the mountains and the Euphrates River. Then you've got down here a circle right on the wing of the vulture, right? And there it is. And it would be a donut shape. They'd be in here. They wouldn't be at the tip of the center point. And I've shown you before, this is like an impact crater. And so in the middle here, there's going to be more Neolithic things going on, but it's definitely with the Golan Heights. It's a joining of these two. It's a joining together. It's creating this whole area, all this area in here, 12,000 years ago. There's another detail at the bottom that I have not figured out. There are 7, on this pillar on D18, there are 7 that will look like ducks, okay, at the bottom. Now, the only other place that has ducks like that is up in here in Turkey, but the ducks are faced the opposite way, and they're very good about the direction of their animals and shapes. You know, it's very accurate. So that I don't know. But D18 and D31, they're in the middle. They're not maps. They are, you know, I don't want to get too subjective right now, but objectively, that's what's going on. They're referencing all the facts that we know about with the comet, with the flood, again, a wall of water. We're going to talk about again in D43. And that's going to finish this video for Enclosure D, 18 and 31. I put them together. The next one's going to be 20 and 21. We'll see you then.